Good morning. First, let me thank the 1 Million Cups for inviting me. It just makes me feel good about what I do. And I'm excited. I wanted to share with you. And Lori was telling me that I have to, tell my story. So probably the best way to do it is 10 years ago, I had an insurance agency, which, if you remember, was right at the crunch time of the economy. My insurance agency was not doing too well, and because I was dealt with a lot of construction business. One day I stopped off for a cup of coffee at a little convenience store. It was a Signo station. It's not there now. If anybody's familiar with Wilmington, it was at the end on Market Street and Military Cutoff, right there. And there was this little girl that worked there that I would go in daily, buy my cheap cup of coffee because I have a hard time paying $4 for a cup of coffee. I drink so much of it, and I'm just not that rich. And but this little girl and I would exchange off-color jokes. I guess is the best way to say it. And she was pretty good. I'd always leave there laughing. And one day I'm standing in there, 10 years ago, I was standing in there getting my coffee, and this real pretty little girl walks in holding the hand of a little 2-year-old. And, I'm sitting there making coffee, we talk for a few minutes, and I looked down at that little girl, and I went, "Ooh, I'll bet your dad is proud." And the young lady looked at me and said, "Well, he's not with us." And the way she said it, my first instinct when you see me, was, what kind of dirtball needs a woman, an attractive, nice person, and a little baby like this? That was my first thought. And she goes, "He died in Iraq 2 years ago." I am a salesperson. I have worked, studied. Companies hire me as a closer. Sometimes they hire me as a trainer. Sometimes they hire me to lead sales teams. That has been my career. I never lose control of a conversation that I initiate. That day when she said he died in Iraq 2 years ago, I sat there and coughed and I felt like somebody had just kicked me. I didn't know what. It did nothing connected. I looked at the little girl again, and I looked at her mother, and I said, "Did your little girl ever meet her daddy?" And she goes, "No." This is not the kind of conversation I want for my coffee. And I said, "Well, just make sure she grows up knowing her daddy was a hero." 2 nights later, Wednesday night. That was a Monday. It was Wednesday night. I woke up in the middle of the night, about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, from some dream. I'm being a salesman and doing all the studies. They tell you to put that notebook by your bed in case you wake up and think of something. I did. I woke up and I said, I can fix that. No little girl grows up and not know what her daddy looked and sounded like. I wrote that down, went back to sleep. My life mark was born. I had no clue what I was talking about. I mean, at first I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know how deaths were registered in this country. And I started studying and realized that more and more people in this world today, back in the day, we'd all stay in towns close to our families. Once a year, there'd be a church event or something. We'd all go out to the graveyards, visit, and then somebody would say, "Well, this is your Aunt Millie." They go on with a story about it. That's how we got family history. That doesn't happen anymore. In California last year, over 80% of people who died were cremated. There's no graveyard. There's nothing. It's just the memory. Well, I came up with the idea, I'm going to build a big website where people can make a video, talk about their lives, who they are, and their loves and the story of their life. They'll send me the video, send me a big check, and I'll have it online. Anybody, when they leave us, when they die, I'll have that video, and I'll be able to share it. After about 2 years of running around telling the whole world about my wonderful website and everything, I ran into a friend, and he said, "How's business?" I said, "Well," and he says, he pulls up the website. He's from Canton, Ohio, and he's a big internet guru. He looks at me and goes, "Nice website. Too bad it's not going to sell anything." And I went, "What?" He says, "Your business is not interactive." He goes, "Your business is personal." So we switched our website over to this one that's here now. The colors I'm not real crazy about, and I'll tell you about that. But all of a sudden the phone worked a little better because it was a landing site where people, the only way they could find out about it, I might tell them, "Look, check out what my life marker." They'd look at it and say, "Contact, contact, contact." which is what you wanted. And as time went on, I realized it was more and more personal. You know, people do not make this decision about making a video unless somebody's sitting in front of them sharing how important it is. Last year, my one board of director came in and asked me what I was doing for Valentine's Day. And you laugh, but I say, you know, sometimes you got to have somebody you can count on just to bounce some ideas off, you know. And she says, "What are you going to do for Valentine's Day?" I go, "I don't know. What are you doing?" She goes, "Well, my husband and I will go out to dinner." And I said, she goes, "Well, what's the company going to do?" You know, I was stuck in my mode of my life marker video. We're going to make big, you know, we go out, and the ones I did were with mostly terminally ill people. We go out, sit down, and do a long, processed interview where by the time that video was done, I knew more about that person than their mates a lot of times. In fact, one girl goes, "I never told my husband that." And, you know, so it was a personal thing. But she says, "What are you going to do for Valentine's Day?" I'll think about it, you know. I wasn't even really worried about it. But somehow the word love letter came to my head. I don't know if I saw it or what, and I started thinking about it. And I remember writing love letters when I was in the Navy 100 years ago, and you know. But all of a sudden, I also remembered in a box in the back of my closet with some old pictures stuffed in there an old love letter from my first wife. I asked somebody else. I said, "Do you have any old love letters?" And now, girls, I can almost bet if you've gotten one, it's hidden somewhere. Whether you're married to that person or have been, those love letters get saved because we cherish it. Somebody opened up their heart to us, and they cherish it. And this idea started to gel with me. I said, "Okay, I'm going to start making love letter videos." You know, a lot easier. I walk out. I help you script it. Sit down. We'll make this video, and I'll store it until you leave us. And then somebody's going to get a video from you that's real important. That they love you, and all of a sudden there's your video, and you're going to tell them the 3 most powerful words you can say to another human being. I love. And the more I'm around it, I couldn't believe it. Guy at Rotary, we're talking about it. I'm sorry, as being a salesman, I'm looking for that book. And anyway, somebody sits at Rotary and goes, "Well, what do you do, Scott?" And I go, "I'm a love distributor." I don't know where this stuff comes from. This brain's full of all these Jeopardy things, you know. And I said, "I'm a love distributor." Everybody did just what you did. They laughed. And I just waited. And then somebody goes, "What's that mean?" That's when I knew I had this sale. And I told them what I do. I sit down, I make videos, and you talk to the person that you love more than anything, and we'll save that video. So that one day, when they're riding down the road, having a bad day, you're gone, they're miserable, I have always loved you. I remember the first time we met. And then all of a sudden I thought, moms and children, dads and children. Now, dads and children are a little tough because of the man thing, but moms are very open to the fact that they love their kids. They tell them over and over and over, "I love you." Kids miss that. I did, you know, I can, how many people have lost a parent? How would you like to hear your dad or your mom go, "I have loved you since the first time you kicked in my belly"? I mean, it's there, and it's all about love. That's what I do. I'm a love distributor. This is the current website. The colors, you know, the guy in Kent, he felt that these were the colors that, and I'm desperately trying to get away from the dying. Not away from it. We all get to die. But I want the colors to be more of a lively, upbeat, I'm alive, I'm in love kind of thing. And you can, again, I love you. It's amazing. I say it all the time to people. When I was talking to them, gotta go, "I love you." Guys blush. Women, and I know what's going on, but they don't hear it. But they sure do like it. And so we said, I moved over to my, let's see, first I did my corporate My Love Facebook page. And it has our logo because we never know when it is. It just didn't get the message across. Well, making videos isn't, is something that I've learned to do in the last few years. And one of the things I learned was green screen technology. And with green screen technology, I hope I don't have the volume on, but anyway, with green screen technology, you can put banners up, you can put all kinds of things up. Mine are still a little rough, but at the same time, it's pretty effective.
Good morning, I'm Scott. This is mylifemarker.com. I have about the best job on the planet. I have the absolute best job on the planet.
And it goes on about the importance of telling somebody you love. I was telling y'all about Rotary. When I'm sitting there, the lady sitting at the table, did you ever get a love letter? They all blush and smile. And I said, you still have it? And this lady turned bright red. I said, it doesn't matter that it's not from your husband. She goes, I got one from my first boyfriend. She said, this lady's 60 years old. I said, wow. I said, where do you keep it? She says, it's in my jewelry box. And then I looked at the other lady, and she smiled and said, yeah, that's something to say. I looked at the guy sitting next to me, and I said, did you ever write one? And he goes, oh, yeah. And I said, did you ever get one? He said, yeah, I got one. I said, what'd you do with it? He leans forward, pulls out his wallet, and in the back of his wallet, he pulls out the tip of it. He says, thank you. And I went, that's how powerful love is. He carries it with him. I said, I go, when do you pull it out? Read it. He says, every time I buy a new wallet. 6 times in the last 31 years. Oh, wow. And, but he has it. People want those love letters. They want to receive them. It's a challenge sometimes to encourage somebody to go ahead, let's do it. Once they see what they've done, they go, they're happy. They told me this is going to be on YouTube or something. But, you know, that's who we are. I don't go out of my way to make big deals about, you know, this is not a YouTube video for, you know, trying to go viral. This is a personal video of you telling somebody important, somebody you would die for, somebody that you would kill for to protect. Telling that person how much you love them. Because they know you leave us. That hole is going to be big, and they would love to hear the story. Lori said I could ask him for what I needed, and I need some help as far as marketing and money. But anyway, the big thing is to get the idea of leads. It's, you know, you can blast on Facebook, and that really doesn't accomplish what you're trying to do. I need to be more targeted. I do not know how to do a good Facebook ad where there's so many things that are rejected as far as, you can't put too much verbiage, you can't say certain words. There's all kinds of things that Facebook won't allow. So I need somebody that knows how to make a vibrant Facebook ad that can help me make a Facebook ad. I need somebody that knows how to target ads, social networking is what we deal with today, and especially small businesses. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be. It gets the word out, and it's relatively inexpensive. Well, Facebook's almost free, and so that's what I'm doing. That's what I do for a living, and I went full-time last year, which, you know, I'm not rich on it, but I'm paying for the rent for my studio and my office. We do go on locations. With the love letter, we will go out for $389, and that might have to change, but $389 will go to your home. We'll sit down, we'll help you script the video, we'll make the video in a place that you're comfortable, that your family or whoever it is you're making it to would feel comfortable seeing. And I do the business of storing it. And we store these things on different databases. They're not accessible by the public in any way, and they're protected until you leave us. And then somebody just sends them in. Once you're gone and we verify your passing, somebody calls and says, I want to see that video of so-and-so. Be sent. Probably, I talked about terminally ill people. I was involved with, I think I told Mike, of charity where we raised money for people with cancer. And that was really my first experience having to deal with somebody that's looking death in the eye. But, I tell a few of them and then we do it. And they'd say, sign me up, let's do this, because they felt that they knew what was coming. I knew what was coming, and this was just a good one. There's a little girl named Megan Galloway. She was 35 years old, had brain cancer. She was had 2 children. She studied archaeology in college, got her degree in archaeology, but living in Wilmington, it's not really a hotbed of archaeology. And but you know, her husband, and her mother-in-law, her 2 children, just wonderful people. And I sat there with Megan and made a life marker video, not the love letter video. I'm still in love with that girl. You know, you meet those people that are intelligent and vibrant and just feel good talking to. And when I got a call from her husband, I asked if he'd looked at the video yet. He said no, he wasn't ready, so I didn't worry about it. And then a couple months, like first of this year, I got a phone call from the mother, and I didn't know who it was because this woman called them. Can I speak to Scott Betz? This is Scott. And she's crying. I'm going, who is this, you know? And she goes, this is Tessa. And racking my brain, and I remember who I said, what's the matter? And I'm like, she saw the video. This is not good. And she goes, I just called to tell you I love what you did. You can't. And then all of a sudden I'm getting letters from friends of Megan's. They're saying, what a beautiful thing. So I know I have the product. I'm looking for help to get it to the next level. You know, marketing and hopefully expansion in sales offices. So I think that I know that once I get my office up to where it's generating enough revenue that what 2 or 3 people can do and make a decent living at, I can duplicate it because it's pretty simple. Hi, I love you. That's video, and that's what I do. And anybody got any questions? Stephen?
Scott, have you ever thought about just for like a Valentine's Day or like a Christmas instead of just strictly for someone who's passed away? And what if, I don't know how you would do this as far as waiting to get the phone call and being proactive. Okay, Steve passed away. Can you send this to his significant other, Cindy Burns, and just as a gift, and she can open it whenever she wants to open it.
Right.
So, have you ever thought about those 2 different facets of the business?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, the business was set up, and they were only on your passing, right? Because any other video, you can just make one and send it to someone. But on the passing, they need access. They send us in the request. We verify. We send it. We send them the link. For Valentine's Day and Christmas and stuff, these are great opportunities, in my mind, to do an ad that says, if there's somebody that you love, that you want to make sure that you have that, this might be a time to give them a gift. We'll take care of the rest. You know, it's like a gift certificate. I don't know how to present that yet. Everything I've done has been a challenge because of the fact nobody does it. That is, and if you ever get a great idea, forget it. Because it is so much work. Everything I attempt, I've got, you know, it's not like I can go, well, let's see what they did. Well, there is no they. I'm the they now. So if somebody comes along behind me with a better mousetrap of doing it, more power to them. But I'm the they. They're going to have to verify. Yes, ma'am.
I want to take it back a little bit off Steve's idea and the fact that branch out beyond life death. Like, for example, a great opportunity would be when a child's born, you have a grandparent that might want to record something with this child on their day they get married or the day they graduate or something. It can. I agree that you're looking at milestones in life and things like that. They don't always have to be life death.
No.
Celebrate the important things, because the big thing now is when kids are born, parents write the letter that they don't open until they're 18 or whatever. And that's another way to broaden your audience, but it's still focusing on life markers. The life does not have to be life death.
Well, as one of somewhere it says the last love letter and things like that. Absolutely right. I've been working. That's one of the things I'm working on is like grandparents. After I got out of my first job, I was down in Jacksonville, Florida. My first job was traveling southeast, selling incubators, anesthesia equipment, and neonatal equipment, premature babies. And I promise you, when you go to the nursery, there's no 2 people more proud of that baby than the grandparents. In fact, if there's 2 sets of grandparents there, they'll fight over who's in charge of that baby. I mean, it's crazy. They love that child. And that's a great idea. The baby being born, you know, great idea. The engagement, guy who gets down on his knees, says, "I love you." What a great gift to go ahead and make the video then and put it away. And we all know that we never know when is. And and I am working on it. I'm looking for ways to promote.
But I like the idea that you're going after life markers, that you're looking not just my Valentine's present to you, but life events.
Right.
But there are life events that you can capture, like you just said, the day you propose, and then the video they see on, say, their 25th anniversary or something.
Yep.
And something they can share with their family, because, you know, even if, God forbid, the parents, they get divorced down the road, the grandkids later on, or down the road, wanted to see what it was like when grandparents got together, or mom and dad got together, kind of thing. The other thing, too, is going back to the life death thing. Have you connected with hospice organizations or things like that where I do have some time to make this video, but I know my time is...
Hospice is a challenge because once you get to hospice, there's not a whole lot of time to do anything. Okay, once in a while you might, but for the most part, that's like the part of it. I've talked to cardiologists and I've dealt with some oncologists or cancer doctors because they deal with it all the time. And
what about assisted living facilities where they're not at the level they need nursing care necessarily 24/7, but they're thinking about stuff like that?
if they, I've approached retirement homes with the multi-levels, and you know, the big thing is, you know, now that we've got the love letter, it seems to have clicked a little better than the original My Life Marker, sit down, tell me your whole story video. The love letter is more personal. It's directed and targeted, but at the same time, like you said, it might, if somebody tells but if somebody says, I love you, and they have a baby, or whatever, an engagement, let's use engagement. I love you more than anything. I make this video to this girl, telling her how much she means to me, how my life has changed, all these things. And then 5 years later, I run off or she runs off and start over. But the video is still there. 20 years down the road, 2 wives later, I die. Somebody pulls up, and I'll be glad that they see a video where Scott truly loves somebody. That wouldn't bother me at all, because there's no better time in your life than when you are head over heels, madly in love with that individual, that man. You got a question?
I do, and it goes along with what she was saying. Have you considered making mini segments of maybe 2 or 3 minutes? So you have like a Valentine's message, and a Christmas message, and an anniversary message, and a birthday message, and you can have it in the whole thing, or you could break it up, and then you could send them, hey, it's been a year, I don't know if you're ready, but this was his Valentine's message for you, or his Christmas message, or his birthday, or anniversary, or whatever. Just you had a special
whatever the
day,
occasion
special
is
song.
that he made the video.
Had you thought about like 2 or 3 minute segments, like an e-card, but a video?
Not yet. I have not thought about that. I'm going to have to
Does it
get
interest you?
enough to, as soon as I'm done talking, it'll be on my phone as I start studying. Is that yes?
But that's a really good idea, because you're building a library of messages, and you're marking milestones in that person's life, and it can be over a period of time.
And it wouldn't be overwhelming. It wouldn't be all at once. So you could have like, okay, I'm not quite over his death, but I want to celebrate. So if I just have this 2 minute, 3 minute, it's a thought.
Yeah.
What do you do?
What I've done with that is that, you know, we have what we call, if you have addition. Everybody that makes a video knows they contact us to add more to it. If I have to travel out to somebody's home, there's an expense. But if they want to come to the office for 5 minutes and just say something, we'll put the green screen up, picture of whoever they love or want that to. Take the video.
That's what I'm saying. If you do it all at once, but in segments, you could edit it where it was the whole thing, but you could also have small segments while you're there. You know, have you thought about what's a special day to you? You know, and again, your kids' birth, it could be part of the library.
Part of our interview.
That sounds like the way you would market it, though. I mean, you market it. It's not just a one-time thing. Make this first video within 5 years or whenever a significant event takes place, add to it. And then when you pass, there's a number of chapters in whatever you're giving as the gift.
Yeah.
I have a great point.
Okay.
You can do it as a subscription service.
I'm sorry.
You can do it as a subscription service, so they get X number of videos to add to it in a period of time, and then you have recurring revenue stream that you can count on.
Yes.
You have client loyalty,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to get referrals out of that.
Oh yeah.
That helps you with your marketing, and it kind of brings a little balance to your budget while giving like a renewing service.
What's your name?
John.
Jonathan. I just made a note in my phone again. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question, so does Ms. Almeida here.
Right.
I wanted to know, with the idea of Ms. Burns, you said, do you go to, say, hospice or these assisted living facilities to inform the attendees of your site and what capacity they could do for the family?
Okay, when you go to a retirement home, we've got them all over the place, and there's a lot of them have the three levels. They've got the, retired, independent living they call it. Then they have assisted living, where you need help with either getting medicine or getting dressed, but pretty much you do it all day long. And then the last level is the memory cognizance. And what you have to do to get into these places is go to the activities director. They won't let you cruise through. Now, I can do a mass mailing or something, but then I need a little bit more revenue to afford that. But at the same time, you go and you set up. And I did a happy hour, which it's amazing how all these old geezers come down and drink free wine. But it was early on. I was searching for some way to make contacts. Back then, though, when I first did it, it was like a $1,595 process for me. Then I said, okay, we'll do this. It won't cost you anything. We'll put it on what we call the estate plan. What's that? You pass. Somebody in your family notifies us you've gone. They want to see your video. We say, well, it's on the estate plan. You need to send us a check for $1,595, and then we'll release the video. But as far as going in and talking to people in the homes and stuff, it's real challenge to get in the seats. Those people.
Well, you had mentioned retirement homes, and what I'm suggesting is go find senior communities. So that way, it's not necessarily a nursing home where you have to deal with that layer of approvals and all. Plus the fact that most of the time when they're in the senior communities as opposed to a facility, they're not unlimited income. Because a lot of times, to get in that retirement home and not have to pay an arm and a leg, you have to get rid of a lot of your assets.
I've been invited down to the lakes in Florida by a couple of my friends that have retired down there. And I've also been in Wilmington now. Dale Webb's building a 55-plus community. And who's excited. Because that's a door-to-door. I'm one of those old school salespeople. Don't be surprised if you see me knocking on your door. I just want to introduce myself, man. Go ahead and get started. I'm a cold caller from way back. So.
Scott, did you say that your standard price is $389?
That's the love letter.
Okay.
The love letter is a pretty simple thing. We go in. Love letters are broken down pretty much into a simple format. Okay. Even for us that have written, if you go back and study it, they cover why, what I wanted to tell you, why I want to tell you, and how much and stuff. And it's not a long thing. It's not usually 4 or 5 minutes, and but it's there. And that's $389. That $1,595 was a number I pulled out of the air back in the beginning because I didn't know what you can always come down. It's a challenge to raise your price, and even though I'm an incredible salesperson, I have a challenge when I tell somebody $1,595 or $389 and go, we want $789. But I'm able to, if I can add value to something, I can close it. But at the same time, I'm amazed at how many people don't even ask the price right off. They want to know more about the service. And so the numbers you see up there, the $389 is pretty much in stone because everybody's heard it. The $1,595 is something that I put on the beginning. And we're not doing that many life marker videos, where we do the whole history. Let me get her first.
Okay. Another angle for you to look at is here in Fayetteville, we have a large military community. So whenever they're being deployed, you could think of, say, having that backup videos, like reminding their family that they love them in case they were to say go missing in action or pass away while overseas. That would be something to help them calm down and feel better with that stress. In addition to maybe they are going to have a period of time when they don't have access to be able to like video conference with them or anything, they could pre-record the happy birthday or happy anniversary or whatever holiday that they know that they're not going to have access to, and then get it for that holiday to their family.
Well,
I think telling people what this did is inevitable, but most of us don't want to think about that. So it's usually a sad one. So if you could my life marker other than focusing on death, focus on living events, that is more
the love letter. That's where the love letter came in.
Or the weddings, or the engagements, or the birth of a child or grandchild, those milestones in life.
And we have morphed from the beginning. The military. One of the very first things, and it's in my book. You know, when you do your annual board of directors review, and the first thing when I was the only board of director, the very first thing that went on there, it is always free, zero price for active duty military. But they got to make their own videos. Just make it, fill out a little information, get it to me, we'll store it. Because last week or 2 weeks ago, I met with Ben David. He's the district attorney down in Wilmington. And I was telling him, there was a state trooper killed in Whiteville. You might have heard about that a couple weeks ago, where pulled the guy over and got shot. And then they showed a picture of his family. And I felt, I don't usually get all excited, but on that one, that turned my stomach. And I felt bad that I didn't have a video for that person, for those 2 kids and that wife, and saying how much he loved them. So I talked to Ben David, and Ben said, I said, I'll offer it free to first responders. He goes, I don't think you need it. He says, it's a great idea. He said, well, let's talk to the county and see if we can get it as a line item for so many people. He goes, you're not going to get full price. I said, I just said I'd do it for free. I said, any price would be great. So we're working with New Hanover County right now for first responders, and we'll try to expand that. One of the challenges of what I do, since it is a personal thing, if I've got to make the videos, that requires me traveling sometimes overnight. And so I have to be careful about what I give away. But yes, the military is high on, because that little girl's daddy he lost his life doing something for me. And, yes, ma'am.
As much as I truly do appreciate from my heart that you're doing all these free services, you can't run a business on free.
No, you can't.
So even though you may not be making the video, you have to store it, you have to be available, it takes your time. I can understand the savings on discounts, but you can't run a business on giving everything away. I don't run it on that. You know, it is available. If a guy wants to send me or a girl wants to send me a video, I'll store it. That's for the active duty military. And the first responders, it looks like if it goes, I might get money for that. But you're telling me there's absolutely no money involved in storing it, nor your time in storing it?
No, I didn't say that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You have costs, you got to cover your costs if you're going to run a business.
And when I first started it, and I thought about that, you know, how much time is going to be involved, how much money is going to be involved in all this, and I made a commitment knowing that if somebody sees a video of somebody that's left us, telling his wife and his little girl how much he loved, I'll recoup all the money I invested.
So my accountant up there will please God, my accountant would.
But no business will survive when expenses exceed revenue.
Oh no, that's a fact of life, and I understand that. And but I also know that sometimes if you give something, you get a lot more back. And the whole thing started because of the soldier dying. I didn't, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to do this. It started from that, and that has been in my heart from the get-go. I don't want another little girl growing up not knowing where daddy's been. If I got to pay for it, I'll pay for it. But I know full well that if somebody sees it, some young lady like that one got a video from her husband that left us, and her daughter can grow up, and that video goes around, I won't have a problem.
So you're going to run a nonprofit then?
What?
You're running a nonprofit. I mean, if you're going to give it away, you might as well declare yourself a nonprofit.
Well, if they were all given away, it would be a nonprofit. But the majority, you know, remember, you're in a military town. But in most towns, they're not military. So it's just a little thing. And then I've got Camp Lejeune, I've got Fort Bragg, then there's Pope Air Force Base up in Goldsboro. Those are reasonable, you know, in reasonable distance. But again, there's nothing out of my pocket except getting a disc, putting it in this data banks, storing it, and I can afford that because I do believe if somebody's going to say that's a great idea, why don't I need to do that, and they'll pay. That's just it might work. I've stuck with that one. I don't know what to do.
Now see, I just see it from the other standpoint because I'd rather, while I'm alive, pay you a few dollars to do it than you come ask my family after I'm dead and they're for you. Just a different viewpoint.
Yeah, and I understand that because it was the first time I did the estate plan that I had to collect money. But then when you get the phone call and she says, "This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Thank you." It was worth it. And 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 people say, I tell people, I say, look, if they don't want to buy it, they ain't got to. That's their call. Yes, I will try to sell it. But if they don't want to, I'm not going to say you have to or anything. It's a contract. Yes.
I'm sorry, I have two questions.
Sure.
One, you said $389. If I'm going to come to you and have something made that someone might not see for several years, do you have anything like short takes or like a trailer? You know how movies have trailers, so that they can get something right away for their money, or do they have to wait till they pass? I mean, just little short takes, not the whole thing.
I could make a little email blip of just a piece, and send it to them. But the whole purpose of it is like a time capsule.
But I'm not going to spend $389 for something that I'm not going to see something right away.
Well,
I mean, I know it's a great idea. I love it.
Thank you.
But then I start thinking, well, I'm going to pay that, and my family's not going to know it. Like I like the life markers. Well, I'm still here. I want something for them to see a little bit. But then, yeah, you have this product that's when I pass, but I might not pass till I'm 100.
Yeah, sure.
And a lot of people aren't going to know that I love them.
Yeah.
Because I recorded it, but they might not see that tape. So what do
you
you have for that?
And I understand that. Mm-hmm. But, if you love somebody, and I'm just talking about when I do the love thing, that's about the love. Mm-hmm. The life marker things where everybody's talking about when somebody's born, somebody, graduated from college, did something, has a whole new epiphany about life or something. He wants to change some things. I can deal with that. But the love letter, there's no, if you live to be 100 and the people that you told you love didn't get to see it because they left before you, I kind of like to believe you're going to get to tell them anyway. But the truth is, the people that are back behind the family, they'll pull up. Oh, that is beautiful. That's my thought.
But I look at it as if I'm going to, I mean, it's business. Yeah. If I'm going to record something for my child, I can record it and just give it to them.
That's right.
Or if there's a life marker and I'm spending this amount of money on it, if I don't tell them in something extra like this that I'm paying for ahead of time, they might go off into drugs. I mean, my kids won't, but I don't know that. But I want them to have a little piece of it first because I may not see.
And here's one of the things. One of my first customers, the lady who lives in Carolina Beach, she's a friend of mine. I went over and said, "Oh, she has to make the life marker video." And her comment was, "Well, I can just make a CD or something." But that technology's not going to be around. I said, "So you need to go ahead and make it and die so you can see the CD."
You need to go ahead and die?
Yeah, I told her, she's a friend of mine. I said, "Go ahead and die so that they can see the CD." And she goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "What are they watching on?" And she goes, "Well, I'll think about it." She goes, "I'll think about it." 3 months later, around Christmas time, her grandkids are there, and they want to watch a movie. Grandma, can we watch a movie? And she said, okay, let's go down to the red box. And they all made a face and go, huh? Oh no, we'll just stream one.
Yes.
And I got my phone call. They don't do CDs and DVDs and all those things anymore. We are in a world that technology is changing so fast. My life marker is set up so that no matter what medium you want to watch it on, we will be able to transmit to you. Not quite at holograms yet. That's going to take some serious money. But that's coming. Hopefully in our lifetime, videos, instead of it being a flat screen, there's Scott saying, I've loved you from the day one. You know, and it looks like on Star Wars, you remember Prince? Those are coming. It's still a decade, 2 decades away from being popular mainstream, but they are coming for training videos and things like this. Yes.
Sorry, that leads me to my second question.
Okay.
So your technology is going to move with technology.
Right.
That's your guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
What's your guarantee if you die?
I'm glad you asked that.
Because I want to know that, I mean, you might not outlive me.
If you really want to know, because as it looks right now, just on the surface, I'm probably going to be gone before you. I mean, I'm 65. And it's a numbers game.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's something out there that's going to take me, but I deal with that all the time. But you can know how we're going to do it. It's called perpetuity. And if you'd like to know, I'll need a check for $10 million. Because I'm not sharing. I had to work to figure that out and get it set up. There's going to be my life marker. I can go out here in the parking lot, get shot, run over, and be gone. And my life marker will be around next year.
So you have somebody that's going to run it after you're gone.
It's called perpetuity. Yes, ma'am.
You just have to take a word for that.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure. And
Is that in the contract?
I don't mean to be offensive or anything.
No,
But that is, I get asked that. That was one of the first questions I got asked when I had this incredible idea and I started to think, "How are you going to do it? What happens if you die, Scott?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, it'll be okay. Is all I could answer. It's not okay.
No, it's
And I had to go and establish and set it up to make sure that we would go on. So, I'll share that with you. Yes.
Very few people know something like this exists.
That's because it does it. Now I'm the only one that
What
is.
did you do to make them, let them know?
That's why I'm here. I started off as a one-man operation. I can be aware of things that I need to do. Doesn't mean I know how to do. Making the videos with the green screen. I was so proud of myself that I would get the first couple that I put out some what I'd call, I guess about 1990s, late 90s when email first came out. My sales team, every day I'd send out a little positive thought, and it grew. All of a sudden their customers wanted. All of a sudden these people wanted. So the list kept growing. And then Facebook came along. So now I was allowed to put positive thought of the day. Well, I'm in the video business. So I said, okay, I'll make some videos. Oh, did I get abuse about my presentations on the videos? But it was a growing process. You got to learn. Yes, ma'am.
How do you get forward with someone's passing if the family is unaware that the decedent has done this?
That's a good question. How do I know, or how does the family know that there's a video? When we make the video, we find out if you've made the last will. If you have, we'll ask you the name of your lawyer. We'll contact your lawyer. If you haven't made it yet, we're going to keep in touch with you. We're going to say, be sure to tell your family you made a My Life Marker video. You don't have to tell them it's a love letter or anything else. You just say, I made a life marker video. They'll have that information, and they'll have my cards. They'll have all these other things, but mostly we really push the idea of contacting your lawyers because that's a market that we're trying to get into. Did you know in North Carolina a video will that doesn't hold any value? It's an oral will where you just talk and tell a couple guys that I'm leaving my house to so and so has more value than me standing up there in the video going, I want my house to go to blah blah. Because with two guys that can sign an affidavit, that's your testimony. I didn't, and it's the law in North Carolina. So Video wills, like what we're doing is we're having people read, they want to read their will and do instructions on, okay, I'm leaving the house, but you'll need to do this, 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 and this if we're trying to break into that market with lawyers. That's a slow process too. Yes?
You said you're making enough money to pay for a studio, that kind of thing. So who's your ideal client?
You know, when I first started, my ideal client was over 55, okay? Because those are the ones that can face mortality or see mortality differently. But when the love letter came out, I'm still looking. I wish I had just the ideal client. You know, that's so much easier to target.
Well, who have you sold it to is what I'm getting at.
I've sold one to a young lady.
Is there any pattern?
No, not yet. It's just people I contact, you know, some Rotary people. I've given away a couple that were gift packages and stuff like that. So. Yes, ma'am.
So, I guess it's sort of rolling back to the money thing a little bit. I'm a little baffled how exactly you're storing these on some database. Most databases cost money, need to be secure, or they're a physical database that could be destroyed by flooding, or fire, or anything else.
And we use two secure databases that are isolated from each other, that are, you know, not accessible by the public, and so that's how we're doing it right now. And I understand that was one of the questions: how are you going to do this? How are you going to protect it? That has to be done, and it's not like you can just put it on your PC or laptop, and that's not a data bank. Some people like to think it is.
I take the last question. What can this community do to help you?
I need somebody that knows how to do Facebook ads and target. I need somebody that has a little bit of capital and wants to invest in this idea, if they think it's valuable, to help me get it to the next level where we're opening more offices. Somebody just said that it was a new idea, nobody's heard of it. And that's the big challenge, getting the word out. You know, I feel good that I've been at it 10 years, or actually 5 is when we made our first video. But I've been at it 5 years and haven't quit. And I told my wife, she goes, yeah, but the first couple of years when there's no money coming in, it's going to work, it's going to work, it's going to work. And then when I told her I quit, I'm not doing anything else but this, her eyes got this big, and she said, how are you going to pay for that? So that's been a challenge. But it would be nice to have somebody that knew more about expansion than I do. I do not know anything about expansion or how I would structure the business to expand. It's not a franchise thing. It's a very personal thing. So it's probably going to have to stay as a private company with partners in different branches. I don't know.
Well, one recommendation I would make is every community college in North Carolina has a small business center that is free of charge, and I would encourage you to seek out the one closest to you because, again, it's free service. They can connect you with a lot of resources.
Cindy, you just don't know how much I appreciate it. I've gone to the Cape Fears, our community college down there, and I've gone to different seminars and things. And I know that I was looking for somebody to do Facebook ads. I was going down and writing it on a postcard and sticking it on the bulletin board looking for, you know.
Well, they have, in their small business center, they also do one-on-one counseling. That's free because Dina can verify that. She's part of ours here.
Okay.
But also connect with, I'm not sure which business programs they have there, but see if they have a marketing program there that's under business administration. A lot of times you can get students to assist and they can get work-based learning credit for college that way.
Okay, I'll check into that. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
That's what I
interns. Yep.
That sounds like the word. That's a 4-letter word, but it sounds like it free.
But they're very helpful. You can either do a free intern if they can get one, or sometimes pay a little bit and get a little bit. But we teach social media marketing classes now on campus, so you can get a graduate or somebody who's working on their degree and they get college credit.
The latest.
Yep. So,
and that is a big thing. Everything changes almost daily. You know, when Facebook came out a few years ago, you could put anything on Facebook. Now they've got algorithms that kick it off immediately. And it might be a good ad, might be perfectly good by Facebook, but you have to go through a whole process of just saying that's not illegal, you know, because the algorithm kicked it out.
But a lot of times, and again, I don't know what Cape Fear teaches exactly without having to look in our big old giant book we have. But there are also computer classes where they teach, like they do web design, that maybe you can take a class take on you as a project. So there are a lot of resources at a community college. I just encourage you to look into those to see what kind of assistance you can get, and gives them credit for work-based learning. They get college credit for classes. It gives them practical world experience.
So then I will definitely appreciate that.
All right, let's thank Scott for coming today.